All right, thank you. Good evening. Tonight is Monday, November 13th. This is the 6 p.m. Lakeville Select Board meeting. We have all of our members with us this evening, as town meeting will be following right afterwards. Is there anybody besides Lake Cam recording the meeting this evening? Having seen none, we'll move on to number 1, Select Board announcements. Holiday season is approaching. There's a few local events to note. The Apponequet Boosters Club will hold its wreath sale at the Old Town House at 2 Precinct Street on November 25th and 26th. The Friends of the Lakeville Council on Aging will be holding a wreath and greenery sale on December 3rd at the Old Town House from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And we've been told that they have made much more product this year. So if you missed out last year, be sure to stop by. And finally, the Lakeville Arts Council is hosting the All That Glitters Holiday Shopping event at the Loon Pond Lodge at Ted Williams Camp on December 1st from 5 to 8 p.m. and December 2nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Does anybody else have any announcements, or should we pass it to Ari for town administrator announcements?
Good.
Go ahead, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I was contacted recently by representatives of Rhino Capital, which is in the midst of scheduling a public information center on their plans for the state hospital site. That's the last week. The tentative date is November 29th. However, we haven't gotten final notice on that. The town received a single response from management of the Loon Pond Lodge from Boston Tavern, which is the current operator. Parks Commission is meeting this month to performance evaluation, and we anticipate bringing a recommendation to the Select Board's December 4th meeting. December 4th looks to be an eventful meeting, by the way. In addition to the Loon Pond Lodge contract, we are planning on holding the annual tax rate hearing, discussing the FY25 budget outlook and calendar, several liquor licenses and renewals for the intermunicipal agreements for boarding animals at the town animal shelters. There's a lot going on in that meeting. Staff is working with Brian Madden at LEC Environmental Consultants to navigate natural heritage's compliance requirements for the planned work at the North Fields at Ted Williams Camp. In addition, bids were opened last week for the fence work, which, as expected, exceeded the initial budget for the project. We're working with the Park Commission to clarify the total requirement for submission to the Select Board. I've told them we don't want to come back to the board once. The next regular meeting of the Select Board will be on Monday, December 4th at the Lakeville Police Station. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any questions for Ari? No? Okay. Then we'll move on to number 3, discuss some possible vote on stipend for Human Resources Administrative Assistant. Mr. Scott?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Select Board appointed Lacey Marshall to the HR Director position last week. She'll begin work on November 20th. The impact that the absence of a director over the past 2 months has had on the organization has been substantially mitigated by the great work we've gotten from Chris Holt, who's kept the office functioning effectively. In acknowledgement of his performance, I'm proposing a one-time payment of $4,500, which represents an amount that is a little over half the difference between Mr. Holt's current salary and the HR Director's salary over the 11 weeks that the position has been vacant. That's simply based on the premise that Chris and I have been splitting the duties. Mr. Holt's performance over the past several months is an excellent example of the teamwork, integrity, and continuous improvement that we have come to expect from the town staff. I appreciate your support and approval on this, and thank you for your consideration.
I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation for a stipend for the Human Resource Administrative Assistant.
Second that with discussion.
Yes.
It'd be great if we could also look at this in the future to see if we have a standardized procedure in place
Yeah,
if this
it's not something
happens
we've done,
again.
correct.
I think this is appropriate, and I think Chris Holt did wonderful work while necessary, but it'd be great to formalize this.
Agreed.
That was my
Agreed.
discussion point.
Something in the union contract for working out of her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is, but this is a weird situation because it's not an act, he wasn't acting.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so it's a little bit nebulous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he's not, that position is or isn't part of.
Not
Should be
union.
non-union.
It's
It's
Confidential,
confidential.
yeah.
Yeah, so no, I agree. I think Chris did an amazing job and smiled most of the time through it. So, yeah, I'd also like to thank Todd, who did a lot of helping out too with the making sure everyone was getting paid and you know everything else. So much appreciation.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All members in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you again, Mr. Holt. Moving on to number 4, discuss a possible vote to extend closing times for restaurants with liquor licenses on New Year's Eve. All right, so we are allowed to extend last call hours on New Year's Eve for restaurants with liquor licenses until 1:30 a.m. with all patrons out by 2. It's up to the board each year if we wish to do this or not.
I'll make a motion,
May I ask a question real quick?
Yep.
Do we have a recommendation from the police chief or anything on this? Have we had problems in the past?
None that I did ask. I've had no concerns were conveyed to me.
Okay, thanks.
so I'll make a motion, to extend the last call hours on New Year's Eve for restaurants with liquor licenses until 1:30 a.m. with all patrons out at 2:00 a.m.
Second.
Okay, all members in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Moving on to number 5, very similar. Discuss and possible vote to extend closing times for package stores with liquor licenses on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. They do allow us to, the ABCC does allow us to extend until 11:30. In the past, the board has kept it the standard 11 p.m. It is up to us each year to decide if we want to extend it for that extra half hour or not.
Last year we took no action, and I'm happy to take no action again this year.
It's fine with me. I don't see an extra half hour making a
Yeah.
big difference.
We have not received any big push for this.
Yep.
No request that we know of?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so no action taken. So time will remain at 11 p.m. Moving on to number 6, discuss and possible vote on the 2024 holiday calendar. Anybody have questions on the calendar as presented? Are there any changes? I didn't notice anything.
No, this is the same as last year, just with the days corrected.
Okay.
And Juneteenth is the second year, I think it's in
Mhm.
there
I
now.
think so, yeah.
Third, actually.
Was it 3?
Yeah,
Is it?
third.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
we,
Alright.
we offered it the first year, even though it wasn't required, but,
Actually, fourth, because we did in 21, didn't we?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
thought we
fourth year.
did before
Yeah,
it was
it's the
fourth
required,
year.
yep,
Fourth year, yeah.
yep. Tuesday, Wednesday, Christmas, yep, all right. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Motion and a second to approve the 2024 holiday calendar as presented. All members in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Number 7, discuss and possible vote on request from the Friends of Lakeville Council on Aging to place yard signs on several town locations. We had the memo. We have Town Hall Lawn, intersection of Precinct Rhode Island Road, transfer station, intersection of Lakeside Ave and Bedford Street, Council on Aging entrance, and they'll also be placing signs on some private property that they don't need approval from us. Any questions on these locations?
Nope. I'll make a motion to approve the locations as written.
Do you want to say when they have to be down by?
Yeah, I, second with discussion,
48 hours.
yeah, they have to be, I think they have to be done within 48 hours. So when we say the transfer station, just the actual transfer station, sometimes people think that they can put it on dumpsters and everything. It just,
The
right there
entrance.
at the entrance. Yeah, because we can't, that's actually a bylaw, so we can't really yep, okay.
So was that amended to within 48 hours after event or?
Yes, amended within 48
We'll make
hours.
it clear to them.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
All right. We have motion and a second. All members in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Good luck with the event. All right, number 8, discuss and possible vote on the request from the Middleborough Lakeville Herring Fishery Commission to appoint volunteer observers.
Okay, I will make a motion, because these were recommended, to appoint the following to the Middleborough Lakeville Herring Fishery Commission, with a term to expire September 30th, 2024. Alan Crowley, Carol Carlson, and Cynthia Gendron.
Second?
Okay, a motion and a second. All members in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
All those addresses are online for anyone looking for that.
Yep. All right, is there any new business for the board this evening?
Wait,
Yeah.
for the,
Any
we didn't mention those. I don't have any new business.
old business to revisit?
I do not have any old
Okay,
business.
nobody's got anything. All right, last item is to attend the special town meeting, which people are starting to show up
we will
for.
start counting.
And we need 100 of us, so come on down. if
Come
you're
on
watching.
down.